Hello, this video is about a book, The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas J. Stanley and William Danko. Well, you can change the language settings and hear it in any language you want. Now, friends, let me ask you a question. When you hear the word millionaire, what picture comes to your mind? Maybe a man driving a red Ferrari, living in a giant villa, wearing gold watches? Right. But what if I told you the real millionaires, the ones who quietly build lasting wealth, don't look like that at all? That's what Thomas J. Stanley discovered in his book, The Millionaire Next Door. And today, let me share this story with you. A story not of flashy lifestyles, but of quiet discipline, of ordinary people doing extraordinary things with their money. Back in the 1990s, Thomas J. Stanley, a researcher, wanted to know what do millionaires in America actually look like. So he and his team studied thousands of wealthy households, but instead of finding celebrities, CEOs, or lottery winners, they found something surprising. Most millionaires were ordinary people, people who lived in normal neighborhoods, drove modest cars, and did not flaunt their wealth. In fact, many of them were your neighbors, the people next door. And that's why the book is called The Millionaire Next Door. But here is the catch. These people were not lucky. They were not born rich. They built wealth carefully, using habits and mindsets that we can all learn. Let me divide them in some lessons. Lesson number 1: living below your means. Imagine two men. One is Raj, who earns 2 lakhs a month. He buys the latest iPhone, rents a luxury apartment, eats out daily, and drives a fancy car on EMI. His friends think he is rich. The second is Arjun, who earns just 1 lakh a month. But Arjun saves nearly half of it. He drives a simple car, cooks at home, and invests his savings. After 10 years, who do you think is wealthier? It's Arjun, the man who quietly built wealth instead of spending it all. This is the first principle. Millionaires live below their means. They don't try to look rich. They prefer to be rich. Lesson number 2: budgeting and planning. Another discovery from Stanley's research. Millionaires are planners. They set goals for their money. They budget. They know exactly how much comes in and how much goes out. Think of it like a game. If you don't keep score, how do you know if you are winning? That's what budgeting is. Keeping score of your money. Most millionaires don't randomly spend. They plan their spending the way a student plans his exam strategy. Lesson number 3. Wealth is in assets, not liabilities. Here is something very important. Many people think a big house, an expensive car, or branded clothes make you wealthy. But Stanley showed us true wealth is in assets, investments, business, stocks, and properties that grow in value. Liabilities like loans, credit card, debit, and EMIs only make you look rich while secretly keeping you poor. So, the millionaires focus on building assets, not showing off liabilities. Now, let me give you a story. Stanley once interviewed a wealthy man who owned multiple businesses. Do you know what car he drove? A second-hand Toyota. When asked why, he smiled and said, "Because a car's job is to take me from point A to point B. My money works better when invested, not sitting in the driveway losing value." That's a mindset shift we all need. Money should work for us, not just make us look good. Lesson number 4. Self-employment and discipline. A large number of millionaires were self-employed or business owners. But don't mistake this for luck. They did not gamble. They worked hard, took calculated risks, and built businesses carefully. But even among employees, the millionaires were those who consistently saved, invested, and stayed disciplined. The truth is, it's not your salary, it's your habits that make you rich. Lesson number 5. Passing down values, not just money. One of the most powerful lessons from the book. Many millionaires don't spoil their children with money. Instead, they teach them discipline, frugality, and responsibility. Because wealth is not just about money, it's about mindset. A child who learns discipline grows into an adult who can build and protect wealth. Think about it. If you receive 10 lakhs but don't know how to manage it, you will lose it fast. But if you have the right mindset, even with 10,000, you can start building. Lesson number 6. Time greater than money. Millionaires also value their time. They don't waste hours on meaningless activities. They spend time learning, investing, building networks, or with family. They know money lost can be earned again, but time lost is gone forever. So they buy peace of mind, simplicity, and focus on what truly matters. So, my friends, the story of the Millionaire Next Door is not about glamour or show off. It's about ordinary people living with extraordinary discipline. They are millionaires not because they earned more, but because they kept more. Not because they spent more, but because they invested more. The flashy guy in a sports car may not be rich, he may be just in debt. The simple neighbor in a modest house might secretly be a millionaire. And here is the takeaway for us: start small, save early, invest regularly, live simply, because wealth is not about looking rich, it's about staying rich. Thomas J. Stanley taught us this: the path to financial freedom is not magic, it's a formula. Discipline plus simplicity plus smart choices. So, the next time you feel tempted to spend to impress others, remember, real millionaires don't impress, they progress. The millionaire next door could be you if you start building from today and from now. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed the book. If you liked what you heard, hit the like button below and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss future experts and book reviews. Let me know in the comments what book should I read next. Thanks for listening and happy reading.